perceived performance risk, perceived financial risk, and perceive psychological risk, and perceived time risk. Okay, so I will reduce this there and draw the framework like this. So our conceptual framework is completely in line with the research purpose. So we have 4 independent variables, 1 mediating variable, and 1 dependent variable. So what we need to further find or search is that are these components have several factors. So I tell you how to find already, so I will just straight away going through the example. Okay, now our further literature review will define those components. See 2.4.1, so product performance risk. So now how people define, so sport criticism, anything that is included. If somebody did found in their studies a relationship between purchase intention or consumer trust and any of these components of perceived risk, that is also written there, but this is what I wanted to show it to you. Okay, so now there are several researchers who found this concept under several aspects. So this, for example, Hong and Cha, he found this concept into 1, 2, 3. Okay, these aspects. Okay, some others. Okay, so these are those aspects which we will later use while making our questionnaire of the study. So now these are, in other words, our factors, and perceived performance risk is our one independent variable. So same as this, we have financial risk. Okay, this also has the same review, means identical review. Okay, now we have another summary. Okay, psychological risk, summary, time risk, summary. Okay, now we have a mediating variable, that is consumer trust. Remember, as I said earlier, that the consumer trust might have definitions in terms of various disciplines. So here we were discussing this. Okay, now here you can see when I use this concept, because this was a long concept that was discussed earlier, so I just give a literal recap first and then go through. my story. Now what happened? Think in terms of a reader. Now at this moment of time he might ask you, or maybe by reading he might have ignored many of the things, so he doesn't know where the story actually is going. So now here I tell him the previous section reviewed the four perceived risk factors. Okay, again, the previous section reviewed that four perceived risk factors show a direct relationship to online consumer purchase intention and trust. Okay, this present section inspire further to attain the research purpose. This section begins with the historical overview of trust in a multidisciplinary context and ends with an overview of its feature in online environment. So now multidisciplinary mean here I said that perhaps the foremost reason of for this so okay, before this I need to tell you that in their studies on definition of trust, several scholars are found to disagree. Perhaps the foremost reason for this disagreement is that trust has been widely studied in different disciplines. Okay, those are the discipline, but each discipline has its own understanding. So now, because this research is particularly related to the field of business or digital marketing, so we need to, after defining all these definition, come to the main point that is related to online trust. So now we say to understand trust in the online context, the existing mechanism of offline trust has to be examined. So if I didn't tell this to the readers, what will happen? Somebody might ask that why you make a big base of it. So according to this person, this is necessary because several studies on offline trust are applicable to online trust as well. So there was a reason why I spend all this data and time exploring the concept of consumer trust in different disciplines. Okay, now this person argued that okay, going back, this view that online and offline trust are similar in a few aspects. Okay, for example, these are the aspects, blah blah blah, and finally, okay, some of the features, some of the related studies to online trust or digital marketing. Okay, this is what I found in terms of its aspects. Okay, now the other part. So this is kind of a major part. So until now we have defined those four independent variables, the mediating variables, and the dependent variables. So now what we are going to do is to relate them and make a research framework and to develop the hypothesis.